Today is the summer 2026, and to me, market is dead.
Dead. I think market is alive. Why do you think market is dead?
Because I see people are desperate to sell, and their houses are sitting.
Disagree. Market is easy to sell if you have a right price. What's happening right now? People are asking price of 2021 and 2022.
And the interest rate is unaffordable.
What's the interest rate today?
Around six something.
Okay, let's say it this way. Would you prefer to buy a house for $200,000 for 6% or $400,000 for 3%? The same house.
If my goal is to buy and hold it, probably 6%. If I want to buy it off as fast as possible, of course, 200,000.
Actually, what happened? Interest rate doesn't make a sense. No, it doesn't matter 6% or difference only in price for the house. For example, if your house was, let's say, $300,000 at 3% and 600,000 at let's say 600 at 3% and 300 at 6%. So you actually pay the same money overall for the same house. The question is not the interest rate. The question is today people are asking. In 2021 they had a price $500,000 per house at 3%, and now they're asking 600 at 6%. So that's why they are not selling the houses.
Unless we're doing something creative, like subject to, takeover loan and stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what? I've learned one lesson. The best thing to buy houses, it's to buy rent to own or creative. Rent to own, or we can say lease to own. And I am working right now. They found a way how you can write off depreciation.
On rent to own?
Yes.
Did you tell my brother?
No, I didn't tell him yet.
So my brother is going through a contract right now. He's drafting a contract. In fact, we're looking for attorney who would draft it, and our transaction coordinator would make it right, because it looks like transaction coordinator knows more than many attorneys. They work with the biggest guy. The two. What's his name? He was in our town just now.
Pace
Morby. Yeah.
Yes.
Did I show this?
Yeah.
I meant this, which means subject to. Which means.
Yeah, but look, what I see, I'm trying to change my strategy right now, offering people lease to own. So actually,
as a seller or buyer?
As a buyer.
All right.
As a buyer, because what happens today, when you do lease to own, I sign agreement with you, lease to own, and I sell to other person, lease to own. The difference. So you can actually do 3 times. I've met some people on the market that's just brand new, like a week ago. Yeah. So I met a person. He signs agreement, lease to own, and says, I am not going to live there. I will going to assign to another.
Right.
So he gets one price, assigns to another price, and does it. And it works very well.
So this is it better than subject to or not? That's the argument we're having with my brother. I think subject to is understandable, clear. I had the subject tos. They were great. It's lease to own. You don't own the house. What if the owner changes her mind and just gets out and cancels the whole thing after you paying big down payment? So how are you secured with lease option?
Okay, I'm not giving you legal advice, but I'll tell how I am doing.
Do it.
Number one, I'll sign 3 agreements. I would sign a rental agreement. I would sign option agreement, and I will sign purchase agreement. And I will record it. Mm-hmm. So you have no other options, and we'll have condition. Let's say if I do payments on time, then I can exercise my option to buy. Mm-hmm. When I exercise my option to buy, what can you do?
Everything cancels. You lose your privilege.
So this is the best way, and the good thing is you sign agreement and you protect yourself. Of course, if the people do not pay taxes, if they go in bankruptcy, that can be surprises. I have an employee, she used to work for a title company.
I know her well.
Yeah,
she
39
closed some properties with me.
Yeah, 39 years in the business. And I asked her, do we need attorney's advice? She said, I already did correctly according to California compliance. A lot of people do not know that when they sign rental agreement, it has to be California compliant. If it's not California compliant, your agreement can be used in voided. Option to purchase, it has to be California compliant. Purchase agreement has to be California compliant. Promissory note has to be California compliant. Because if your promissory note is not compliant, you know what? Judge can cancel the note and you will owe on a note, guess how much? 0. Can you imagine? You purchase a house, you made someone promissory note, he goes to right attorney, goes to court and voids your all interest. And let's say you paid 5 years.
Yeah, and you did remodeling, you did down payment.
No. For example, you lended money to me. I went to the court, got the document that you have no right to charge me. My note is not legal, like it's voided. So whatever interest I paid you for 5 years, you have to get me back. So that's ouch. Yeah, that's the problem.
So, but what's the problem with rent to own? You can't write off taxes, depreciation, because it's a rental property.
The lady you are talking about, she knows how to do it. You need to talk to them. When you order transaction coordinator, people forget one thing. They sell transaction coordinators one service. You need to pay additional fee to do processing fee. For example, they will collect money and distribute money. This is not included in transaction coordinator fee. That's like additional.
Are you talking about third-party servicing company?
Yes, that's additional. So if I am buying, I have knowledgeable advantage. So if people want to give some advice, they need to buy courses, listen. Buy books, listen, and make notes. Because if I will start people giving them advice, what works today will not work tomorrow, If
the house is in good condition, that's a good price to buy.
Oh, yes. But if
most of them are not.
If you buy a house which, let's say, 1,500 square feet, needs new roof, new flooring, lots of garbage, numbers doesn't work. So you have to be very careful what you're buying today.
So you are in this industry for about 7 years?
No, I started in 2020.
6 years?
No, in 2020 in August. And I started studying, trying to make a deal. And first deal I made in 2021 in February. And I was so motivated, 6 months, no success. You know what? I can share what I will do, but I do not want to give them advice because you are undermining your family and yourself when you are giving people advice what to do. You are actually telling people what they can do. I can tell, I buy subject to. Subject to, it's a risky deal. I buy seller financing. It's a risky deal too. I buy rent to own. I buy lease to own. I wholesale, I assign, but I do not recommend, Elijah, you to assign. You need to do your homework. You need to understand what you want to do, not what I tell you to do. But you tell people, buy subject to. That's advice. You would rather say, I buy myself subject to. I know the risks and I know what I do. But you need to make decision yourself. What I tell people...
Oh, that's of course. Everybody understands that.
Like assumable loan. You know what it is? What is it?
Of course.
What is it?
When you talk to the bank where the house is mortgaged and ask them, let me assume it officially. I'll put my SSN, my name, my income, and I'll be paying, and that guy is released. Is officially, no, there is no loan will not be called due. You officially own it. It's like, it's hard. Not everybody. FHAs are most assumable.
Look, if I will be a real estate agent, I can sell you maybe 50 houses a month, assumable loans. Actually, I know how to sell assumable loans. And
Why is it not common?
there is one guy. He is number one selling assumable loans. He negotiates to bank. He is number one in America. He is living, you know where? Guess.
Los Angeles.
Sacramento.
Really? And he does the business in Sacramento?
He does business in California, everywhere. Assumable loans. So he looks at the properties which have delinquency, looks which loans are assumable. VA, which one?
FHA.
FHA, what else?
Can you translate to people who don't understand it?
VA, it's military. People who serve for military, they get VA loan. FHA loan, it's a federal
Housing assistance.
Federal housing assistance. They give loans. There is USDA. It's if you live in a farm or farm area, you can get. By the way, USDA loans you can get at 1%, Elijah.
Beautiful.
And there are near Sacramento
1% down?
1% interest.
That's nothing. That's a free land.
Yes. If people know what is USDA, they will go tomorrow and they would not buy house in Roseville. They will buy house in Lincoln.
Or Alberta. Yeah.
Alberta. Or, you know where? In Rockland, what's
Loomis. A lot of farmlands where there's a lot of space, trees, and
you
nature.
Can, yeah,
Everybody dreams of that.
Yeah, you can live it. So you can assume USDA loans, you can assume FHA loans. By the way, if you have VA loan, and I'm not a VA, I didn't serve in the army, VA can be transferred to FHA loan. So that's very easy. So actually, if you find a good realtor, you can get, Elijah, another thing is very interesting here. You can buy FHA loan and you can get money for repairs. So there is a government program. You buy a fixer-upper and you get government money to repair. Yeah. Another thing, if you do subject to, it's a take over the payments.
Yeah, not assume, take over.
Yeah, assumable. And the loan, for example, if take over, for example, you have a loan, I take over your loan and you are still liable. In the assumable loan, you release your liabilities
And
on my
give
name.
it to a new buyer.
Yeah, and in assumable loan, which is good, for example, you had 3%, I get the same 3%.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
And for example, you had paid for 10 years, let's say you have equity 100,000. Or people say, oh, they have assumable loan, but I do not have down payment 150,000. You know how you can buy it?
Seller's financing, the difference.
No, even smarter. You assume the first, and then you get a second on a property. So the first will be like 3%, and second will be like 6%. And then you can pay off
But
second.
you need to qualify for the second.
Usually you are getting automatically. Of course, if you have a credit score 600, you will not get it. But if you have...
Are you saying the second would be from the same mortgage or would be just separate third company?
The same company. It can be other company, and also it can be HELOC. For example,
In fact, today, like a few hours ago, a HELOC company called me and he said, dude, you have like 400,000 equity in your house. Would you like HELOC?
So what did you say?
I've been saying, I'm open to it. Give me the numbers. And they said, okay, we can give you... I said, let's be like plain numbers. If you give me 100K, how much am I going to pay? So I'm going to pay for the origination fee, maybe a couple points. And then I'll pay 9% annual, amortized for 20 years, which I hate. I'd rather take simple interest, HELOC, just make it simple, make it nice. But that's another mortgage, which I'm not interested, because I was thinking about, have you heard of banking velocity?
Yes.
Or they call it become your own bank.
Yeah, but velocity, it's turning over of money. Actually, I know you have a license in the
Insurance?
Insurance, yeah. So you sell insurances, correct?
Yeah.
And you can borrow against your insurance.
Yeah, I do.
Did you offer people the service or no?
This is not my strength, so I'm not doing it yet. What I'm exploring, because there is a concept of paying your mortgage in 3 to 7 to 10 years, where you take out a simple interest loan, let's say take out 30K at simple interest, maybe 6%. Put this 30K towards the principal, or towards the
Insurance, yeah.
Towards the principal of your house. For example, you still owe 300,000 on your house.
Okay.
Put this 30K.
Okay.
Your mortgage drops. Then you pay out this 30,000 in a couple months or whatever. Then you take another one and another one, and you chunk off your mortgage, and instead of paying double, which is mostly if you bought a house for 300K, you'll pay 600K in 30 years. But this way you chunk out your mortgage in 7 years without making more money, with just running this private loan, simple interest, chunking your mortgage off and paying it in 3 to 7 to 5 years.
I will tell you more interesting thing. If you have a mortgage today, let's say $4,000, if you will do your mortgage payment not once a month, and you will do weekly, you will save 3 to 4 years of your mortgage interest. Simple.
Hold on.
Just a second.
If you pay weekly instead of monthly.
Yes.
So you're
because
saying
your
every
mortgage,
week I have to pay $4,000?
No, not 4,000. Every week you pay 1,000, because your interest calculated every 24 hours. Your interest, your interest is calculated every 24 hours. So every 24 hours, if you will be doing payments, Elijah, but there is another one. You get a HELOC, second position.
You're talking about HELOC.
No,
you're talking about original mortgage.
Mortgage
for 30 years.
Yes, original mortgage. But I would like to go back to HELOC. You have a HELOC, and HELOC usually second position.
Yeah.
That's what you have been sold. I know HELOC in the first position. You can have a HELOC in the first position and pay less money. So what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to refinance my houses for HELOC in the first position. If you call to the banks, a lot of banks have no idea.
Yeah.
Remember, I called you a long time ago. You had a relative who wanted to buy a nice house, and we talked with them to do subject to, remember, in Granite Bay, the lady. She used to have trees there, and then she cut the trees, and you really liked the property. You said, my uncle might be interested in the property. Remember? We spoke to the lady. I called you.
In Granite Bay?
Granite Bay, yeah, remember? So that lady changed my mind because she had that kind of loan. And when
HELOC in first position?
Yes. And when I asked her, she was so smart. She said, I cannot explain you. You're asking too much questions.
Wow.
So, and she said, what do you ask? Because nobody asked me. So if you take a HELOC in the first position, you can get for 30 years and you can pay off. An interesting thing in this position, for example, you have a house, let's say $1 million. You take a loan, $600,000. You have equity, but this HELOC in the first position gives you access you to $900,000. So you have a right not to do payments for many years if you have equity in a house. That will be deducted from your equity.
But the interest is
yeah,
growing.
but they will charge, let's say, 6%. For example, if they took from you next payment 4,000, they took 4,000, they added to the body 4%. So this is like first position. So I've learned this. Now I talk to her. She didn't tell me. Then I go to AI. I tried to find. I didn't find. Then I accidentally met one broker, and he said, "This is 2 banks in America give this." So, and I called those banks, and I had a meeting with them with one bank. Just one bank answered to me. So I'm in the process of negotiation
For this house?
for this house and other places. Yeah.
So is this really a deal that will shorten your mortgage?
First of all, it will shorten my mortgage. If I can pay this month, I pay. If I need cash for my house, I take it off from the house, pull out. So I can pay and I cannot pay. So if I have money, I can deposit and withdraw. So it's like my bank. My house will be like a bank.
Like a savings account or something.
Like account. So this is good. So if you have equity in the house, you just jackpot. And interest is 6.5%.
Reasonable.
Reasonable.
That's whatever sold on the street anywhere, right?
They sell now 5.8, for 9, but you put principal and you never can have access. It's like buried money. Now you pay points to get position.
Yeah. So first position HELOC. Is that what it's called?
I am not saying exactly a name because they have 4 or 5 things. But if you do call to the bank and say first position HELOC, make sure first position HELOC. They give it.
So the big picture that I've been battling for many years. For many years, I was actually, before I got into real estate, I was thinking I'm just gonna save a bunch of money and buy a house with cash and live happily ever after. But then my mind changed after I started listening to Bigger Pockets podcast and real estate podcast. In fact, they share information for free. They just share, and I just soaked it up. And who I am today, just because of podcasts that share information freely. There are 2 types of Slavics: people that came here as kids, they're Americanized, they're like Americans, and there are Slavics that came here at 30, 40, whatever, and they live here for many years. They're closed and they're secrecy, like KGB is watching, don't say this, don't tell. And so 2 categories. So if you see Slavics, don't put them in one basket. Totally different people. But going back to
and actually people who came to America 10 years and up.
Yeah, and the new Slavics, like third wave, like Tim, this video recorder, show him. This guy is totally new. He's been in America 4 years, 5, 6?
More. I came in 2019.
Oh, 19. But okay, we're talking about your generation and people that came here with the war from Ukraine. Totally new. These people are super advanced technology everywhere. Driving Teslas, they're in depth. Like, I feel sad for them. They're buying expensive Teslas, but they can't. They live in rent. They're spending money here to look really cool. I mean, that's my mentality.
But Elijah, you need to understand one thing. It's not those people. What you are sold today, they are trying to sell you subscription. When you buy internet for your house, they make you subscription for 2-3 years. You buy a car, they put you on subscription. For example, I purchased a Tesla. I counted that after 6 years, I pay all of the car. It will be costing nothing. So it's actually cheaper to have subscription.
That's a very interesting topic where we need to debate whether it's smarter. I'm old school. I either buy a car with cash and drive happily ever after without worrying about tomorrow.
But look, if you buy cash, this is not smart too. You know why? Because if you can imagine, let's say you paid 70,000 for a car. I paid 70,000 for a farm. I got a farm for 70,000.
That I agree with you.
70,000 farm, 10 acres.
I totally agree with you. But
in a village, in a village, 10 acres with a house.
Yes. Right now, I have a decision whether I want to buy Escalade for a family.
Please buy.
Or buy a duplex with that down payment.
I would buy a duplex with that down payment.
Me too.
And lease.
I want that.
And lease Escalade. And give away money. Because this is a subscription. The country changes us, America, for subscription. You live in a country where they put you everywhere on subscription. In fact,
yesterday or a few days ago, I counted all my In fact, there's my friend just started. And that's gonna be a plug-in free advertisement for my friend. Do you mind?
Yeah, I'll charge you.
He's a new immigrant who started a new app, and he asked me to analyze it. So he gave me a Valto. It's called Valto. He says, put your budget here. And I started putting my budget, and I calculated my subscriptions because I hate subscriptions. I'm conservative. I drive Prius, if anybody cares or knows who I am.
But you came here with what car?
A different car, yeah. Like 9 miles per gallon car.
Yes, it's a G-Wagon.
Don't tell anybody because people know me as a Prius guy.
Okay, G-Wagon, Prius.
So I drive Prius. I live very humbly and economically. And I saw my subscriptions are that just take out of... I don't have like YouTube subscription or Netflix because I'm not dumb. I think I'm not that dumb. Maybe some people think, dude, I'm missing out. But my subscription counted around $800 every month. It just goes, maybe it's little for you because you probably
I don't have such subscription. I'm against subscription. I'm not buying subscriptions.
But yeah, I shared it with my wife, and I said, dude, every month $800 for just out of the window.
I buy only resources like for real estate resources. Yes, I have subscription. I don't know how much is that because this is on the business. No, I do know this is on
some
the
of
business.
these are business related. I don't have like entertainment subscription.
No, I have no
against
entertainment. I have no entertainment.
Like these are mostly and included. One of that subscription is my coaching call with a guy in Austria every month, every week, or 2 weeks a week.
Does he help you?
He does, yeah. He actually helped me open my mind to my frugal Prius mentality. Something that I paid him a lot for that, but so
you need to pay more than
probably I do. But
you know why? Because the more you pay, even if you don't want to change, you change.
yeah. He helped me understand that. So at one point, I lived this Prius mentality. I think I should write a book. It's called Prius mentality. It's people that are frugal, hard to spend money on yourself.
I see.
It's me. When you move back like 20 years ago, I was only cash guy. Buy something in cash, never own that. Dave Ramsey guy, because I was listening to him. That was my philosophy. Then I started listening to Bigger Pockets, and then I learned about good and bad debt. When you get a debt that pays you, it's a good debt. When you, for example, buy TV, and it's a bad debt if you credit it or finance it. If you buy Tesla and you do Uber and you make money on it, good debt. If you buy a house, rent it out, and you make profit, good debt. So that's where I started put my money into debts, buying properties and not paying off the properties because I'd rather use cash flow to accumulate but buy more and more. With this uncertain situation in the world, not everybody, but people saying things are going to go down, do you think it's more safe to pay off things and to have equity, or instead continue buying debt, good debt?
First of all, I would not spend cash. I would have a debt because it's always easy to negotiate when you have a debt. For example, if I owe to the bank $1 million and I come to them and say, I cannot pay this month, but I only have $10,000 to pay now, and then I can pay instead of $7,000 a month, I can pay $3,000 a month. You can go and negotiate with the bank. Can I give you $10,000 now and then pay $3,000 a month? Because usually when a gap comes, crisis comes, it's 6 to 18 months. If you look history, not more than 18 months. In 18 months, everything okay. So I would rather have money for next 18 months to survive. So I would never pay. I would rather buy. What happened in 2008? Prices went down and banks stopped lending.
Giving out, yeah.
Hard money, stop lending. Nobody was lending. So you were thinking that you are smart as when the market drops down, I will go and get hard money. I'll buy a house very cheap.
Yeah, nobody gives money.
Nobody gives money. So then 10,000 becomes like 100,000. You know, it's impossible to lend money. So the same what's happening right now. I would rather buy stuff now when market is kind of high, people say. But when the market drops down, you can always go and renegotiate the price.
How do you explain? So that's my philosophy as well. But few months ago, when things were not good, you were kind of desperate.
I always desperate.
I'm selling everything.
And I'm selling. By the way, I'm in a contract. I'm selling everything right now.
Why do you sell everything where you just said it's
because
better to buy?
I'm getting smarter. I think the deals I got before were not as good as now. For example, I flip houses. I use others people's money. I get now better deals than I got before. So I purchased on that period of time, I was thinking that I got a good deal. But I created a lot of debts for myself. And now I'm trying to pay off my debts. I counted that easy for me to pay off my debts, become free, and start over again.
With different type of deals? Or
Yes.
different type of real estate?
Different type of deals and different types of real estate. For example, I see a lot of competition in Placer County. I see a lot of competition in Sacramento County. I see less competition in Yolo County. I see less competition in Solana County. I see less competition in El Dorado County. You can get a deal today in El Dorado better.
Are you talking about suburbs, like land of where nobody lives, or just
Houses.
real neighborhoods?
Real neighborhoods. So I'm concentrated here in my neighborhood, Sacramento, Placer, El Dorado, Yolo. But I'm now shifting to Solano. Yesterday I was in San Mateo. I look at that price. So what happens there? You can negotiate better deals in that areas than you can negotiate here. You can go to Napa and you can get a better deals. So what happens? We have a community of Slavic people here, and everybody wants to buy in.
Competition grows.
Yeah, competition grows. Butte County, perfect. You know how much in Butte County renting house
Butte
works?
County, for people who don't understand, it's a paradise, Mount Magalia. It's forest of beauty, real beauty.
Oroville, yeah. So if you buy a rental in Oroville, you will get on your investment money the lowest we had 14 to 17%.
ROI.
ROI on return of your money. So if you buy in Sacramento, it will be 2% on your money.
Yeah.
You will be actually paying more money. So I saw one lady.
Yeah, I think
his,
I'm getting...
His wife, her husband is an attorney. She's Slavic. Her husband is not. You know him very well. He's this guy. He sold all his multifamily, all his houses in Sacramento. You know where they purchased?
Butte County?
Butte County.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
How many houses? They have 68 houses?
I do not know. They have a lot of doors, businesses.
You should interview them here. Please invite those people to interview and pick their brain.
Yes.
I wish your podcast to invite smart people, like not me smart, like real smart people.
You are smart.
I'm just self-made. I'm just guy who's curious
Smart,
and asking
self-made.
questions. But I wish you to invite here and pick their brain.
So thank you, Elijah. If you look very carefully at counties, like where people make more money, the more money make where people have cheaper houses. If you go, I made some money in Shasta County, very profitable. When I go to Shasta County, you will see a lot of realtors from Sacramento owning 50, 60, 78 single homes there because it's cheaper to rent, cheaper to buy, higher to rent. For example, how much is the rent in Sacramento? Minimum.
1,600.
Oroville, the cheapest, 900.
Double less.
Small difference. Average rent there 1,500. The same here. But you buy a house for 200,000 and you rent 1,500 or 2,000, 1,800.
Yeah, that's like 1% rule works there. Not
Yes.
in California, not in big cities.
Yeah, in big cities it doesn't work 1% rule.
1% rule is when you buy a house and you're getting 1% per month of what you purchased the house for.
Yeah.
This works in Midwest, in some Alabama, some Idaho, whatever places.
Oroville.
Yeah, here in our backyard, Oroville would be a good example. So speaking of different categories of real estate, you had experience with land, flipping, wholesaling, rental, Airbnb. What else do you have experience with? Commercial? Tell me what did you have the most pleasure working with?
What do you think?
Commercial.
Yes. Elijah, what kind of real estate do you have?
I have mostly rental properties, and like 3 years ago, I had most of them are Airbnbs. I had about 15 units of Airbnbs, daily people calling, I need this, I need this, I need that. I was stressed out. I had a lot of cleaning ladies, a lot of people. But then Airbnb was, county said, we want a piece of pie. Everybody needs to get a license. Everybody needs to pay us percentage, pay a license fees, and I'll say share the profit with us. So they didn't make sense. So in some properties where I had subleases, it didn't stop making sense, so I closed those.
I see, because we had Airbnb, and we use license from the first day. We paid government its share, we just charge more. And that's all. And we had a gross income from 6 to 12,000 a month.
Beautiful.
But you know what the biggest problem is? The more gross we had, the less profit we made. So on a
Why is that?
No, on a 6,000 gross, we had like net income like 2.5, 3,000. On a 12,000, we had 4,000, 4,500.
That doesn't make sense. Is it cleaning fees or what?
Yeah, a lot of cleanings, a lot of works, a lot of consuming, and the more you have, the more. So you do not need to do. Sometimes it's easier to put higher price and have less customers than to have cheaper price, and you will be like booked, like overbooked, and then expenses, electricity, electrical, jacuzzi, pool, other expenses just go up and up. So we buy for others people on auction. I go and bid on auction for other people. So I buy on auction, sell on auctions. That's what we do, and that's what generates.
And you get a fee for that. If
Yeah,
you win.
I do.
It's not for yourself, but for somebody else.
It depends. Sometimes I'm participating too.
All right.
It depends, but we are buying on auction.
You buy single families or
Single families land, but what I see, a lot of our Slavic people come into the auction, it's a one-time ticket. So they are buying properties and then they stick with them forever. Because they think that on auction everything is clear. Or they do not do their homework clearly.
there could be liens, there could be problems, there could be second loan. So at one point, David asked me that, let's go, I'm going to evict somebody. I want a nice house and a nice area. The house is ugly, but the neighborhood is in Fair Oaks.
Yes.
So you bought it for 360?
No, we were naive. We purchased for 252.
That's impossible in Fair Oaks.
Yes.
But the guy was abusing the system, was squatting in the house for 12 or 14 years.
That's another story. Yeah.
So, and how did you get rid of him? And tell me about this deal.
we hired the attorney, we hired the realtor. So they communicated with him. We got the first deed, how much he owes, and we paid off the first deed. The first deed was like 72,000.
Only.
Yes. So we paid off 252 plus 72. So we paid off the deed. We recorded, and then we started eviction. We evicted him, and we got the possession. That's how it happened. Saying long story short, at the beginning, I was paying attention close to my heart. Now I am happy. When I make money, I am happy. When I am losing, I am happy. I am so neutral now. It's like whatever happens, I know one thing. I have knowledgeable advantage. So if I lose here, I will make another thing. Yeah. We come to one property and they destroy it. My media guy looks at it and says, oh my gosh, he says, I would lose my mind, like happening. And I'm calm. Coming to another property problem. He said, oh my gosh, how can you do it?
Your tenants destroying your property.
Yeah. And I'm calm with that. You know why? Because I look long term. I purchase good. I have a good price. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a loss temporarily. In the long term, I will win. This is my property. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about my property. So that's why we have renters very good. They pay on time, clean, and so on. What I've learned, if renter stops paying, you need.
This is something I learned last month.
It's very hard. It's very hard. He paid 2 years in time. 2 years. If he stops paying, you need to stop acting right away.
That's the lesson.
It's very hard to accept, Elijah, morally.
Yeah. So about a year ago, prorok. I'm going to show you a picture. So I rented to a ministry from African country, a prophet. I did a lot of reels, like 3 series of reels on my Instagram. There were like 500,000 views overall. And I said, okay, they're making a church in Rancho Cordova. Let me help you. Instead of $4,500 per month that I currently charge, all right, I'll give you for $3,300 a month, where I'm not profiting anymore, because for me to operate that, to own that house with my HOA payments and everything, it cost me $3,300. So I just said, I won't profit from you. Just be good tenants, and God bless you with your ministry. So first month they paid, second month they delayed, third month they delayed, and then they paid me $200, $500, $300, and then they stopped paying. And I said, what's going on? Oh, we're going through problems. Okay, will you recover? Yeah, we will. And I left traveling the world and not thinking about it. And 10 months later, I'm thinking, dude, I'm negative. I met this prophet, this guy.
And you become his assistant.
I said, I should evict you. I brought him 3-day notice, get out of here. And he said, please, we're church, we're ministers. And he calmed me down, and I gave him a chance again. And he never paid again. I mean, he paid me $2,000 for that talk, for me to calm down. And I didn't file 3-day notice. I didn't do anything. So 1 year later, 11 months later, I became angry. I started making video. What should I do, guys? Help me, my audiences. And they started telling me, who's he? Show us his face. Tell us what is his church is. Then I later figured out that's his lifestyle. He also abused the church where he rented. They had to change all the locks. He abused other people. So it's his mentality. So then I realized I need to take seriously. I need to evict him officially, because I never, in my years of being landlord, never evicted people. I want to keep this reputation. I think it's cool. Take action. Didn't pay in 3 days. Here's a 3-day notice. Get out of here. And you have to be serious. And I'm a city of goodness guy. I'm all about happiness and goodness and kindness. Concluding the whole conversation. Real estate is not passive. It's not butterflies and flowers. It's aggressive. You have to be hard. You have to be fast. You have to be
not aggressive.
Decisive.
Elijah, I don't think you have to be aggressive. You have to be very smart. Crocodile eats and not crying. Snake eats, not crying. Because if you will be aggressive, people will be aggressive. You have to be very calm. Smile and do your work.
We spoke mostly about real estate. Tell me, maybe you don't want to share it, maybe this is too expensive information, but maybe you can. Where is the opportunity right now in the next 3 to 5 years, where the people that watch our podcast, where should they go to make money? What type of business?
You cannot make money if you don't change your thinking. Whatever you do, you need to get knowledge. You need to get skills.
How about practical real estate advice? Which aspect would you jump? Wholesaling, realtor,
I would get
in real estate.
First of all, I would get a license.
Real estate?
No, not real estate license.
Lender?
No. Insurance license.
Like me?
Yes. And I would because if you have insurance license, you can protect yourself. You know that as an insurance agent, you can buy insurance for your car, for your house. Do you know this?
Yeah.
So you can buy directly. So I would get insurance in insurance license. I would get real estate license. I would get lending license, and I would spend a lot of time working with sophisticated real estate entrepreneurs. And based on that information, I would make decision what I like: land, money, farm, money, building, money, renting, buying and hold, money. Buying and wholesaling is money. This is a different strategy. You need to understand, first of all, you need knowledge. Where do you see yourself?
Where do I see myself? I'm thinking about commercial properties where everything is under one roof, where I have nobody calling me, oh, my TV remote is not working, oh, my lamp is not on, because I went through that for the last 10 years. I'm trying to give it to manager and run. That's my experience from our mutual friend who used to own apartment complexes. Now they own businesses in Stockton area or like that area. Best decision they ever made. That's what their words. So I'm thinking, why shouldn't I follow their path and buy a commercial property, fill it with good tenants, good businesses, and live happily ever after? That's kind of my idea, what I'm looking at.
Yeah, then I'm clear. I'm looking for mobile home parks, RV parks, storages. That's what I'm concentrating. Single homes for specific needs. There are people who need single home for specific needs.
Like rehab centers type of thing.
Similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are niches, really good niches. So how would you conclude this? So this was a podcast over
Elijah,
conversation.
Thank you very much. You shared what you think. You shared your experience.
I mean, actually, I asked you.
You listened to Elijah. Elijah tried to help you. Did he help you? Make a comment. If yes, plus. If not, minus.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull out information from Davyd, which he doesn't share information to regular people. So
Elijah, it's my podcast. It's my podcast, not your podcast.
But at least I'm trying to get your information.
I invited you to get information from you.
I appreciate it. And I use that opportunity to gain value to my audience and myself. So I'm glad.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for doing it. And I wish you to bring more people and get some interesting topics raised.
Welcome.
God bless.
God bless.